I like what you did with the whole it's not referring to the depression. I mean, like, I was looking at it and the bright colors, and it gives you kind of a happy feeling. Definitely, I think the whole thing is it can't possibly have anything to do with sadness or depression. It's definitely early in the morning, and it's a good time. I like what you said about the shutters being closed. They're sleeping in. It's not that anything's wrong. It's just people are tired. They've worked for a week, and it's time. They want to take a nap.
It's not really about happiness. It's more like a feeling of contentment. I can see it. I mean, happiness would be a lot brighter. Like the dawn, everyone's still sleeping in. It's just more like a lazy feeling than a happy feeling. So
the streets are also, that street is like really bright. I mean, like usually a street would be black, but he painted this yellow. So I get the feeling he wasn't trying to convey like anything normal. He was trying to have an elevated sense of
it's
emotion.
basically the early morning sunlight shining on the street. He's showing like it's not depressing or anything. It's basically like showing a normal Sunday. What I got from it was that basically it was a depression, and he was just trying to, I guess did this painting to basically, as a reminder of good times, like a memory of good times.
I see. Yeah, and the whole thing about the stores being closed, I have to say, I get the feeling that maybe some of them are closed, not because the shop owners are sleeping in, but really because they're not selling anything anymore. I think maybe he is trying to make some kind of reference to the time that he's painting this. But I can understand where you're going with that. I mean, like, you can still see stuff in the windows, at least in a couple of them, and that pole outside in the main focus of the painting. You get the feel. I mean, it looks like it's a barber shop, even though you can't really see anything through it.
I don't know. It really doesn't really have an abandoned feel to it, though. I mean, I'm looking at it. It's all colorful. Nothing looks faded. The windows aren't boarded up. There's no like closed or out of business signs. Something I'd expect during the Depression. So, I really think it's just people sleeping in on a Sunday. I mean, this is back in the 1930s. Even now, most people don't work on Sunday.
Right. You also mentioned that there's like nothing distracting from the main focus of the picture. I don't think I can find the actual focus of the picture. Maybe you could tell me what that is.
The entire painting, that's the focus, the storefront.
The whole thing is the focus.
Yeah, there's nothing in the background. It's just the one big building with a few shops on it, and the floors on top. Nothing else, really. I mean, do you see anything else? It's just basically completely focused on it. That's actually it's a lot like that with most of his paintings. For example, Nighthawks, I think it was called. Mm-hmm. Basically, there was one. It wasn't focused entirely on a diner, but the diner was completely lit, and everything else in the street was empty without any detail at all. It wouldn't distract from the painting. It's the same way here. Nothing distracts from the main focus.
Okay. What have you to say about the lack of people? I mean, I understand you said it's early in the morning, so there probably wouldn't be anybody walking by anyway, but do you think he's trying to convey anything by that?
Yeah, I mean, most of his other urban paintings that I've seen had people in it in some way. Not all of them, but with this one, I think like the absence of people is just it actually explains more about where they are than if there were some people on the streets. I mean, it's empty, but the lighting and the mood of it all and the time of day it conveys basically explains where they are. I mean, in the painting, you see the upper floors, most of the shutters are closed, the streets are empty. That's all you need to know. They're asleep.
Yeah, certainly I can get where you're getting that from. Definitely, I can see the tranquility of it, and actually I do feel that the lack of people adds to the, I guess the word would be mystery of this piece. Definitely, it draws me in. It definitely makes me very intrigued at why no one would be walking by. Interestingly enough, again, I mean, I still feel that there's a happy light there, even with the lack of people.
Does it give you a feeling of laziness?
It definitely does give me a feeling of laziness. Really, it does. Why? I mean, I can see how you would say shopkeepers are sleeping in there. I mean, definitely, and I can understand Sunday morning, yeah, just sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is basically, it looks like, I don't know, someplace in New York, like maybe Brighton in Brooklyn or so. I mean, the shops don't look all that different from the way they do now. So I guess this is a typical morning.